What is going on, guys? A21 Mayo here, and today I'm going to be going over my tips for each rank in Rainbow Six Siege. Now, before we jump into the tips, I want to go over a few things. Firstly, 40% of you guys aren't subscribed. We just hit 30k subs, which is crazy, and I thank you guys for that. But I want to work towards the next goal, which is 50k subs. So if you have not hit the sub button already, I would greatly appreciate it. I also want to say that I'm now doing coaching. So if you guys are interested in a one-on-one session with me, where I help you with anything you struggle with, or want to get better on, there will be a link to my Patreon down below in the description, where you can find all of the info you need and more. Now, with all of that being said, let's jump into the video. The way this video is going to be structured is I'll be going over the highest ranks first, and then working my way down to the lower ranks. So I'll be starting from champion or diamond, and then working all the way down to copper. Now, before I start with the champion rank, I want to lay out a very basic understanding of things that should be applied to each rank throughout the game. It doesn't matter if you're #1 champion or the lowest of the low in copper. These tips should be applied to every player and every rank in the game. So the first tip I'm going to give is making sure you're as utility efficient as possible, no matter your rank. A lot of players seem to forget what game we're playing, Rainbow Six Siege. From my experience, once people reach Plat 1 or the diamond range, they forget how important having good utility placement is and how impactful it can be during a game. Placing an ADS wrong and having it be shot and then a grenade kills a teammate is what I mean by being smart with your utility and making sure that you're always on your toes when placing it. You should never feel comfortable with doing the same thing the same way each game and round, because if you do that, you'll never have room to improve. Another aspect of the game that you should carry through every rank is communication or team play. Now, most of the time, a lower ranking player will usually have worse communication and team play, but what matters here is you at least try. You see, if you start at the rank silver and try your hardest to be a team player, that skill set will only get better over time when you climb the ranks because you've been doing it for so long. The higher the rank you are, the better you will be able to play with and around your teammates, making it a winning environment. And the last thing I want to go over is droning. Now, I know that droning is such a basic thing that everyone knows about, but so many people forget how important it actually is. Having 1 or 2 drones is like having extra lives on attack. It's important that you think and react off of intel and not impulse. Okay, now that I've laid out the basics of everything that should apply to each rank in the game, let's start with the top dog ranks in the game, champion and diamond. I'm grouping these ranks together because I really feel like that they're interchangeable. The only difference between the two is the amount of elo you're at. They're pretty much the same players since you're going to have champions on your team or you're going to go up against champions on the enemy team whenever you are a diamond. The tip that I have for champion or diamond players is their mindset. I would say 95% of the players in this elo need to hear what I'm about to say. Once you get to this level of skill or elo, your mind becomes your greatest enemy. You've reached a point of the game where you think you know everything, but you don't realize you've only just started. Rainbow Six Siege is like a life form that is always evolving, and if you don't evolve with it, you're going to become obsolete and left behind in the past. You create this expectation of the players in this elo range, and if they don't meet your expectations, you become complacent about how bad they play or what a dumb play they made. You create this bubble of an ego, and if anything or anyone comes close to it, you have a fight response where you have to protect it at all costs, which is hurting you more than it's helping. Because if you allow that bubble to get popped, it will help you grow and improve to become a better player. High elo players have such a mindset, and they complain about anything to make themselves feel better. Well, if you complain that much about a game or players, then simply stop playing the game. Alright, now that I've gone over the 2 top ranks in the game, let's talk about the Plat 2 to Plat 1 range of elo. In this elo range, the tips that I would have for you is to start perfecting your skills. Because you're at this level of elo where you have everything you need, all you need to do now is polish it off to go to the next level. This is the rank where you have to start understanding the little things of the game that make the biggest difference of winning or losing a round, and how you can fix them. These players that you're going to be facing are the type of players who will punish you for having someone in the wrong position on your team, and they will find that gap and take advantage of it. Try your hardest after a round or game is over to find the mistakes that you or your teammates made and fix them. This is what I mean by polishing your skills. Finding those micro adjustment mistakes and fixing them. Because as I said, if you keep trying the same thing time and time again, it won't always work. So you need to adapt in order to improve. And by adapting, I also mean fixing the mistakes you made last round and trying something different the next round. Now let's talk about that first step into the Plat range. The rank Plat 3. This is a huge goal for a lot of gold or silver players. It's pretty much like the first Neil Armstrong footprint into a new rank. For anyone who is already in this rank and you want to push for Plat 2, I have 2 things to say to you. Firstly, if this is your first time in this elo range, congratulations. I know this is a big goal for a lot of players, and for the ones who have reached this rank, good job. The next thing I'm going to say is going to help a lot of players in this rank, which the tip for someone in Plat 3 is that you need to drop the ego. As I said, this is a big goal for a lot of players, and you chase the goal for a long time. And once you reach it, you begin to create this ego of thinking you know everything because you reached a rank that you thought you could never reach. For all my Plat 3 players out there, your ego is holding you back and you don't realize it. Similar to what I was saying about a champ player, the same thing applies to this rank here. To put this into perspective, if you are a Plat 3 player and it gave you an ego, you're only a little bit better than the average player, which is Gold 3. So stop thinking you're hot shit and set the next milestone for Plat 2 or Plat 1. You need to keep your mind clear for the next rank. The notorious rank, Gold, where the largest player base is in ranked. In this rank, I suggest that you start working on your mechanical skill. The main difference between a gold player and someone who is in Plat 3 is how much time they spent on their mechanical skill outside of playing ranked or casual. If you're someone who has a hard time hitting their shots or can't really seem to lock down their movement, what you need to do is spend that extra time and start improving your movement or aim. What separates a Plat and a gold player is the extra hours they reinvest into themselves each week, making sure they're on the right track to getting better and ranking up. You have to understand that you're in gold for a reason. Now it's up to you to find that reason and get rid of it so you can start to rank up. Stop blaming your teammates or whatever it is that helps you sleep at night. Focus on yourself or the stack that you play with, and trust me, it will help a lot. And if you know you need to work on your aim, I've made multiple videos on aiming, or help you find your sensitivity, and I've also made a movement guide. I highly suggest you watch those if you're struggling. Moving on to our next rank, Silver. This rank doesn't get enough love, and a large majority of the player base is in this rank, so if you guys would like to see me make a tip video for only ranking up out of Silver, let's see if we can get this video to 2,000 likes, and I will definitely do that. But the number one tip I can give for any of you guys in this rank is your pre-aim. Now, if you don't know what pre-aim is, it's the action of putting your crosshair where you're expecting the enemies to come next. A lot of you guys in this rank don't consciously think about this, and it's limiting your potential to win gunfights by a lot. If you win more gunfights, you win more rounds. If you win more rounds, you win more games and you rank up, at least on paper. So the only thing I suggest to you is make sure you have proper crosshair placement. Again, this is a topic that I've made a full tip video on, so if you're struggling with it or don't know how to get better crosshair placement, I suggest you go watch that full video. But to give you the short version of it, there's 2 ways you can do this very easily. Any door that is barricaded on any map, there is a buckle at the top of that barricade, just below the height of someone standing. So find that buckle and drill it into your mind to aim at that level, so that way you can have perfect pre-aim. Another thing you can do is play Ayana. Using her hologram gadget, you can look back on the actual operator Ayana and look and see where head height is, or you can do it crouched as well. Alright, and our last 2 ranks, Bronze and Copper. I'm going to clump these 2 ranks together as well, just because I feel like they're interchangeable, and I also don't want to make the video too long. Now, the number one thing I can recommend for people in this elo range is going into a custom game and making sure you know the maps. A lot of people will tell you to focus on your mechanical skill, and while I agree to an extent, I don't think it's the number one thing you should be focusing on. The reason I believe this is because the more you play the game, the more your mechanical skill will get better over time. So you don't solely need to focus on it, but I'm not saying it's not important. Now back to what I was saying, go into a custom game and learn the maps. The reason I say this is simple. A lot of you guys lack a basic understanding of the game. And a huge part of that understanding of the game are the maps. Not only the way you play them, but also how you can manipulate them to your advantage by using your utility in the right spots. If you don't know a map, go into a custom game, pick Sledge on attack with the shotgun, and run around and just start dissecting the map room by room until you have a basic understanding of it. By doing this, it will help remove a layer of stress of loading into an online game into a map that you don't know yet. And a lot of the times you're going to end up lost, and you might even die because you're lost because you don't know the map. Another thing you can do while doing this is look at your compass while going through room to room. If you don't know callouts, the compass shows what each room is called so you can start your way on giving accurate callouts during a game. Now that is going to wrap up today's video. If you enjoyed, make sure you guys hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. If you guys want me to make that how to get out of silver tip video, let's see if we can get this video to 2,000 likes, and I will make that video as soon as possible. As I said at the beginning of the video, I am now doing coaching, so if you're interested, there's a link to my Patreon where you can find all of my information you need and any questions you may have. While you're down there, check out my social media. I post to TikTok and Instagram every single day. There's also a link to the Wichita Wolves, which I am a content creator for, so make sure you guys go show them some love. And with all of that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you learned something new, and I will see you guys in the next video.